forgot. Anyway, happy Wednesday. So we have dog cam up on the right. Just missed out on Mickey staring directly at the camera. He woke up and he was just looking directly at the camera, right into the lens. It was like he's just staring into my soul. And then he started licking his paw. Anyway. Okay, so we just, this is the last part of this. There's the dog. So what else do we need to talk to? Arsenal? So glad that the story had a happy ending. Everything and everyone is back to normal. I can breathe again. I can eat and walk and dance. Yeah. Uh-oh. Curl. There we go. You see Curl among those who have been rescued. He is looking around awkwardly, shifting from one foot to another, as if he is not sure what to do with himself. When he notices you and Sela, he pales slightly, but takes a step forward. I thank you so much for saving me from the demons. I want to hear your side of the story, but you need to tell me the truth. He bows his head. All right, I'll tell you. I met this guy before the attack on Canabras. He said he felt sorry for me. We talked about the condemned and about how awful the Crusaders were to me. He told me that I should take matters into my own hands, that I should be my own master and decide my own fate. When the demons attacked Canabras and the city fell into chaos, he found me again. He introduced me to a few of his pals and called himself a Templar of the Ivory Labyrinth. He told me to spy on the Crusaders who were trying to take back the city. I didn't want to help them, but he threatened me. They even cast a spell on me. I don't know what it was, but it felt like torture. I curled up and sobbed like a baby. They told me that the city belonged to them now and that they'd kill me if I didn't cooperate, so I agreed. But I didn't want to, I swear. I really didn't. I wanted to run away, though. I thought if I could just get some money, I could escape the city. I could go far, far away, somewhere they'd never find me. The Crusaders could deal with those cultists. I just wanted to be free. And that's when I had the idea to steal Elan's ring. It was worth a small fortune, and I needed the money. I didn't want to hurt Elan. I didn't want to hurt any of you. But I didn't know what else to do, so I took the ring, and, well, the demons took control. Or the demon took control. I guess you know the rest. I was stuck in the ring, and that scumbag stole my body. Damn it, Curl. You could have told us you were being threatened by cultists. We would have helped. But I wanted freedom, Sela. He sighs sadly. I'll be honest with you. I'm not much of a Crusader. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad I met you, Elan and Janna. I couldn't ask for better friends, but I'm not cut out for war. I don't like fighting demons, and I don't want to die. That's too heavy a sentence for a simple thief. Sela glances at you and says quietly, he has a point. The punishment should fit the crime. A harsh sentence wouldn't change what's happened, and it won't turn him into a better person. And after everything he's been through. If I let you go, what will you do? You see a flicker of hope in Curl's eyes. Well, you can bet I'll not be going to steal or hobnob with cultists. I swear it on anything you like. I've been thinking about Canabras. It'll take a long time to rebuild the city, and I'm sure they could use an extra pair of hands. I could be a laborer until I learn how to an honest trade. So tiny. Confess to committing an act of treason, you will appear before a court-martial. I think you've been punished enough. I'm granting you a full pardon. You are free to go. He nods at you suspiciously. Really? I mean, is that the honest truth? Yep, the honest of truths. Cheer up, lad. It'll all work out for you. I say this as a former thief to, hopefully, another. See, look, we're not a bad guy. Bad dwarf. We're a good dwarf. We don't kill people just because. Unless they're demons, then it's a different story. But, anyway.
Focus on the goal.
Where's Sela hiding? There's Curl. Nothing more with him. Sanctified, can't protect the area from around it from being corruption of the abyss. Okay, some stuff. So, oh, Behringer's here. Hope we don't stay here long. There are two things I always hated, cities and waiting. Bad dwarf? No, good dwarf. Welcome back, Fenny. Are you Venier? I'm a good dwarf. I didn't kill anybody in the last 30 minutes or so. Not even a demon. Well, maybe not 30 minutes, but close. At least 20. Maybe. Okay, we have to go back to... in there. Actually, we should go sell stuff before we go up there. Will, sir. Uh-oh. Permission to speak, Commander. Master frowns. I don't enjoy telling you this, but we've got trouble. Soldiers are going missing from the camp. They're gone a day, sometimes two, and then we find their bodies mauled so badly even the scouts can't hold back their tears. We've seen all kinds of terrors during the war, but the sight of those remains sends shivers down my spine. It doesn't happen often. We usually lose 1 or 2 people each month. It's a minor loss in the grand scheme of things, but it's been happening for a while. I guess it started right after you left for the Abyss. But the scouts brought news just the other day. They say it's the work of one band of demons. Vile beast, even worse than the rest. We're almost at the end of our tether. The lads are asking you, Commander. Give us the word to attract them and hunt them down like the cursed monsters that they are. We want vengeance. We will track down the demons and exact vengeance for the fallen. Lads will be happy. They'll be itching to find these beasts and get even. So, stuff. Show me what you have. It's all the bulk's junk. 8 grand and crap. It's all crap. 8 grand. Don't need this. This is just stuff for, we'll just say, our collection. $98,000 for that. Exquisite chain barding. Yeah, we're fine. Then this stuff. Click resistance 1. I guess do name. Actually, can do value. Price and descending. This isn't really price and descending or type. Oh, type. No price. There we go. Bone amulet. But body champs conceal your alignment. Oh boy, I know who got that from. Bracers, hold on to that. So hold on to those. Good enough? I guess it's good enough. 163,000. And does he have anything worth buying that we haven't sold to him? Little Warhammer, +5. That, Disembower, Volcata, heavy armor, banded, gleaming banded armor. Short bow don't need. Axiomatic bleed heavy crossbow +5. We don't have anybody doing crossbows. Radiant Elder Flaming Light Mace +5. Oh, bag of holding large. Do we honestly need one of these? No. We don't have a problem carrying stuff around. Furyborn. Placed on the melee weapons, Furyborn weapon draws power from the anger and frustration of other fields from battling. Each time the wielder damages an opponent with this weapon, its hammer increases by +1 when making attacks against that opponent. The enhancement bonus can't be increased this way beyond the maximum +5. Goes away when the opponent dies. The wielder uses the weapon to attack a different creature or 1 hour passes. Not something we're using, but I'm just curious to see what that actually was. I think we're good. Necromancer Staff. What's going on? Wow, that was a quick way to get up here. The angel's eyes are sad and filled with worry. Targona. Oh, her wing's fixed. Do you smell that, Gimpy? It's the scent of blood. The corruption has cast its shadow over the city, and we all feel it. It's my duty to help rid Dresden of demonic corruption. But I'm ready to call upon the higher planes in a grand ritual to summon their holy power here. It will be difficult, but it must be done. The priests of Iomade have already petitioned me to reconsecrate the city and surrounding lands in the name of the Inheritor, but there are other views. The Crusaders who gave their hearts to the merciful Sarenrae wish her to be the new patron of the city and healer of its wounds. Yet others believe we are encroaching on what rightfully belongs to others. Sarkoris has its own god. Sarkoris may have fallen, but centuries of devotion left their mark. This is a place of power, and we could once again proclaim Dresden the possession of Pelura, our ally and the deity venerated throughout Sarkoris. May the northern lights once again dance in the sky above the world wound, heralding our victory. Will you place the hand of the Inheritor as my advisor? I can't hope to replace him, but I cannot leave you and your warriors without the guidance of heaven. There is a heavy burden upon your shoulders, and I am doing what I can to make it easier to bear. Why is the choice of the city's patron deity so important? I don't care. The city be the Crusaders of Iomade. Hey, what about the Green Faith bastards? Let the city be the Crusaders of Iomade. So, generals learn Blade of the Inheritor spell. Deals power times power plus 5d8 magic damage to every enemy on the vertical line. This is a divine spell. Cavalry units gain Smite Evil. We have Paladins and Tail Knights. Hey Ray, welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Sarenrae. Healing Light of Sarenrae. Infirmary size increased by 15%. That's pretty big. Ward against weakness. One friendly creature within any range. Target unit gains immunity to all negative effects for 3 rounds. This is a divine spell. Range units get Smite Evil. Have bonus to attack, damage, and AC equal to its charisma against evil units. None of these are really what I would like, but to every enemy in a vertical line. It's a good first spell to cast. Cavalry all get Smite Evil. We only have Paladins and Hell Knights for our cavalry. Paladins already get Smite Evil. Paladins and Hell Knights get Smite Chaos. So, but there's the healing thing. Increases our infirmary size by 15. I think we'll go that way. So be it. I shall convey your words to the Crusaders so they can start preparing for the ritual. I return to you should I need your service or advice or have a question, or if I see something I can do to help the crusade and its commander. Stuff. That it? And I hit the same stupid button again. My hand was off the keyboard and keep hitting R for rest.
Watch out for trouble.
Hey, Erebeth, you're still alive. So it turns out the queen, blah, 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 and... Oh. Rachel, you're still alive. What are you doing without your squad or your tank or rank of Paralictor? It has given me little cause for emotion. I am a competent leader, but for me, leadership has never been an end in itself. Any position allows me to effectively achieve my goals will suffice. As your companion and subordinate, I am no less capable of contributing to the fight against the World One than I was. Blah, blah, blah. Poor Rachel. Nevia. Special there. I thought we had to meet with one of our councils. Or was it just the angel? Angel, yeah, we did that. That was the Bastion. Strength the chain command, so there we go. One day for the Heaven Wars, so that's the angels. 5 more, I think is what it is. Miffy, after playing Baldur's Gate 3, how do you think they compare to Pathfinder? Well, it's more than just the... Well... The same type of game, obviously. Both based on Dungeons and Dragons, of course. How do you think they compare? The story here seems better. It is a complex question. I'm just trying to put it together so that it makes sense. I like the story better here. Baldur's Gate 3, I feel a little railroaded in my decisions on what to do as far as the main storyline. Leveling up goes faster here. But again, it's Dungeons & Dragons 5 versus Pathfinder, which are different systems. They really are. So I guess it's not really a thing to compare so much. But as far as the complexity, the combat is combat. I mean, I like this system better. The UI, I don't like the UI in Baldur's Gate 3. I think it's too cluttered with stuff. And it's just too much. I mean, like, you have lots of buttons here that you can move around and stuff like, which you can do in Baldur's Gate 3 as well. But I feel it's too cluttered. And the icons don't really always represent what they do accurately. I mean, I know some of these are just as bad, but in there it seems worse. So that's all. But story stuff, I prefer the story here. It feels more branchy. There's more choices as which way. I mean, there's still this main storyline, close the world wound. That's what this main storyline is. And in Baldur's Gate 3, it's defeat the Illithid, or without ruining too much in the story for people, it's the same big long storyline, but it doesn't feel as many options to it, I guess. Because with the mythic paths here, there's lots of side quests going on, and it feels like the story has more potential endings, even though in reality it doesn't. But it does. I think it has more different potential endings than Baldur's Gate 3 does, if you just go straight storyline. But again, both of them have their own side quests and all this other fun stuff, and I still think Pathfinder feels better. Bigger, better writing in general. The companions in Pathfinder I like better than the companions in Baldur's Gate 3 feel very flat to me. They don't feel like they have any real depth. At least these guys here, they feel like there's more to them. The Baldur's Gate companions don't feel nearly as interesting. The different types of yeah, I don't like that either, Ring. There's different actions sectioning off. Skills are better utilized in this game, at least in terms of in dialogue scrolls. Yeah, that's that too. I don't like the way they've done that in Baldur's Gate 3. If you accidentally have somebody, selected of your companions, you click on somebody to go talk to them, it's like, oh crap, that's not the person I need to talk to that person because they don't have the right skills. Here you don't have to worry about that so much because it's handled automatically to give you typically the best person for that interaction, or at least when it comes to a skill roll. Doing it is simplistic and clunky, and you often end up accidentally doing rolls. Yep, like I just said. So, but yeah, Baldur's Gate is very pretty, very good sound effects, and the music is exceptional. But the music's good in this game too. But the voice acting is really good in Baldur's Gate 3, and pretty much everybody you click on has something to say, even though it may be short, like a lot of these. They basically do the same thing here with the unimportant NPCs. You click on them, they say one thing, and that's it. And Baldur's Gate, same thing, but it's voice instead of text. But it's the same general idea. Roguelike DLC, like the Midnight Isles. I hope they do something like that for Baldur's Gate 3. I would love to see a roguelike like they do for Midnight Isles or Beneath the Stolen Lands and Kingmaker. That people won't have any DLC. They better have DLC, because shit, the story, it's what, max level of 12 out of potential 20. They screwed the pooch on that one, I think. If they don't do DLC, they really screwed the pooch. I mean, as much as that game is sold, they better do DLC. Incentivizes making your get persuasion skills, your main character get persuasion as a skill in some way because of how skill rolls are handled, which is not good. Yeah, they definitely encourage you to go charisma route in Baldur's Gate 3, which is kind of a shame. I'd like to see something like Beneath the Stolen Lands with Rogue Trader. Haven't really played Rogue Trader quite yet, so I guess I don't know. It depends on how big Rogue Trader is. I mean, is Rogue Trader going to be big like Wrath of the Righteous, or is it going to be smaller like Baldur's Gate 3? As far as, replayability. Sorry, not smaller, but replayability. I don't feel there's a lot of replayability in Baldur's Gate 3. Going through a second time now, there's some differences playing a drow, but it's still pretty much the same stuff, right? You still have to go kick the crap out of the goblins and do the other stuff and go find the owlbear. That doesn't really change a whole lot. But of course, the same stuff is here. But it seems like there's different options in Wrath of the Righteous for the minor stuff. So I don't know. Again, it's a complicated question on the differences and which game is better. And of course, then there's Solasta too. People always forget Solasta is the smaller stuff of 3 as far as money-wise. But of the 3, it may be my favorite simply because of the combat engine. Because it's an actual real 3D combat engine. Despite what Baldur's Gate 3 claims that, it's a 3D combat. It's not. It's a 2.5 at best because of the way it works. There's actually, there's different levels within, combat. Is it okay? You can jump over here or jump up here or, whatever. But there's actually no real true 3D movement within the combat engine like Solasta has. Solasta, you can actually fly. And even though they have a fly ability in Baldur's Gate 3, it's not really flying. It's just a way to get from point A to point B and avoid some stuff in the process. You can't actually stop midair and hover there, you know, from a safety spot for melee or something like that. In Celestia, you can. And of course, Pathfinder's not even in the conversation there because this is strictly a 2D engine. But, you know, Celestia's combat engine is still better than both of those games as far as what I feel. That with the way it works, you know, you don't have to do a full attack in Celestia unless you press buttons, right? Here, you know, if you've got 6 attacks, you know, you just click the button and all 6 attacks on the same target. And unless you have another target in range, and then you can do, you know, continuing after that one dies. But in Celestia, it's like, I want to swing at this one. He's right next to me for 1. And the one up to the right to me, I want to swing at him 1, 2. And then spells, you can, like magic missiles, you can pick individual targets in this game. And as far as I can tell, Baldur's Gate 3, is it all against the same target? I can't remember. I haven't used magic missile enough. I think it's all against the same target, but I'm not positive. But I know in Pathfinder, magic missile is all against the same target. Celestia, you can actually break up magic missiles or other spells that do the same thing into different targets too, which is very cool. And I don't know if Baldur's Gate does that or not. Can't remember. Haven't used magic missile enough. So, seems like Larian has no plans for expansion. They're going to patch it for a while, then take a break, then figure it out. We'll carry on patching for a while, and then we're all going to take a holiday, and then we'll figure out what we do next. And their next thing is going to probably be a DLC. Because they'd be crazy not to. They would be crazily stupid not to do a DLC. To add more content. It doesn't necessarily have to add levels or anything like that, but to not add some more content to the game would be crazy. Adding levels would be good. They want to make another game. Do they? I guess it depends on how much money they're making off of Baldur's Gate 3. Because there's an audience there. Right? If they sold, you know, thousands and thousands of copies of the game, there's an audience there to sell DLC. They've made a little bit of money off the game, I'm going to guess. So the question is whether they're going to actually, you know, milk the cow for a little bit longer. If they were smart, they would be. I mean, if they're legitimately in the business of making video games and making money from that, they would do DLC. They'd be stupid not to. They sold over 1 million copies. There you go. So they should be working on a DLC. Because I think if they don't, I think they're going to lose a lot of people for their next game. Because by not doing DLCs, I mean, there's different perspectives you can take here. Going, oh, DLC, they're just going to milk it, and it's going to be crappy or whatever. Well, it depends on the quality of the DLC they put out, right? But if they don't continue to put stuff out, I think they're going to hurt a lot of people's loyalty to the brand, right? So, like my response would be, well, you're making another game already, right? So, but I'd like you to do some more with Baldur's Gate 3. Like, why not put out more stuff? And they put out DLCs for their other games too, didn't they? They didn't do for Divinity Sin 1, 2. They didn't put out any DLC. Are you sure? You're not sure they didn't. Look at the Steam page. I don't have Steam up right now. They haven't put any DLC. See, I'm surprised at that. I really am. So maybe that's why I didn't get Divinity Sin 2, because 1 didn't have anything to go after it. Because I still haven't played Divinity of Sin, right? Divinity of Sin 2. I still haven't played that. I know I didn't have it. I never got it. So it's a masterpiece, is it? I hear people drop masterpieces about games in the past, and I go and I take a look at the games that they're masterpieces, and it's like, no, they're not. So I'm really reluctant. Anytime somebody calls a game a masterpiece, I get really, really suspicious. I've played it. It's just something called Baldur's Gate 3. Well, if that's the case, I would say Divinity Sin 2 is not a masterpiece. If Zombie is correct, I would say Divinity Sin 2 is not a masterpiece, simply based on Baldur's Gate 3. Because Baldur's Gate 3's got lots of flaws, and it is definitely not a masterpiece. So, is it good? Yes. Is it a masterpiece? No. So, should we continue talking about this, or should we can talk about some stuff that I'm supposed to be doing here? Overwhelming positive. That doesn't mean shit. I've seen those the overwhelming positive on lots of games, and that's all subjective. That's personal opinion stuff. That doesn't really mean that much. Not to me, at least. Not in today's world, at least. That stuff is so easy to fake. That's the problem. You just create a bunch of bogus accounts and you go in and start clicking numbers or buttons. So. I'm more of a hands-on type person before I say, is this a good game or not? I don't usually take other people's opinions too often. I prefer my own opinion over others. Ironically, as I stream here on Twitch. I mean, it's just, if I say a game is good, that's what I think it is. Doesn't mean you're going to like it that way, and that's the way you should take it. And the stuff on Steam, most of that stuff is so shitty. I mean, if you actually read the reviews that people put in, it's just like, why are you taking the time to write that? It's like so worthless, And that's the same thing is it a positive review or is it a negative review? And then the Steam doesn't have any type of real rating system anyway. It's just it's an up thumb or a down thumb. And that's not very accurate. I mean, it really isn't. I mean, even though it's overwhelming positive, that just means 7 out of 10 reviews say it's an up thumb. That doesn't mean shit. So, what was I going to do? I think I need to wait a day for one of these things here. And of course, that's why we have stuff like Twitch and YouTube. YouTube videos are questionable sometimes. The way they do reviews and whatever, when people do reviews. That's why I don't really do reviews on YouTube, mainly because you don't know if the person actually finished the game or how much they actually put into it, or whether they even got paid to play that game, which happens more often than you think it does. And so they're very incredibly biased for a lot of those reviews. So I don't even watch reviews on YouTube anymore. Not for years and years and years. Mainly because of that whole system, just like reviews from gaming magazines back in the day and even today. I don't pay attention to them because you don't know. You don't know how much they were paid, if they were paid at all, and what other stuff. So, but that's why we have live streaming. So you can actually see stuff happen in real time. You get your own opinions based on what you can see and what the streamer's saying and that kind of stuff. And you can ask questions like we're doing right now. And this game, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Did I pay for this? Yes, I did. I was actually a Kickstarter backer. Season passes, paid for season 1. I get season 2 from PR company for Owlcat. So there's that. Which actually is going to affect... No, wait a minute. The DLC we're playing later on today is something I actually bought. So my opinions are basically my own. They weren't paid for. I've actually played the game, even though I'm a Kickstarter backer for the game. I don't think that's not the same as being paid to do it, because I'm paying to play the game still. So my opinions here are based off playing the game and playing other games comparable to it and stuff. Celeste, the same deal. Celeste was another game I was a Kickstarter for. Baldur's Gate 3, I did not kickstart. Why? Because it's not a direct sequel of Baldur's Gate 2, which I was very disappointed about when I found out that about Baldur's Gate 3, that it was not a sequel to 3 or 2 or 1 and 2 actually. So I was very skeptical of Baldur's Gate 3 until the release, and And now that I'm playing through the game, it's like, they throw in some, the characters from the original games and stuff for, nostalgia and whatever. But the story, I don't think is as good as the first two. The companions aren't as good as the first two. Yeah, they're cameos at best. So, and again, the concept of, I like the fact that they bring in illithids and whatever, but there's no direct connection to 3. Like, it's not about Ball anymore, right? It's just about whatever it is. And, without ruining the storyline, I don't think it's as good. I really don't. And there's a character in the story. It's like, from the very start, it's like, I know who you are. I know what you're going to do during this game. And it's just like, it's just so obvious it was what's going to happen. There's no real, suspension there. It's like, okay, we're just running through the motions here. The story is really not that special. It's not. It's very predictable. So it's not. But again, it's not a bad game. It's not living up to the expectation I was expecting for a Baldur's Gate game. Even though it's Larian and they didn't have anything to do with the first two, I was still expecting better. So. Cameos. Everyone say when you hear the call, you gotta get it underway. Gray, stop it. Stop it. And I forgot to check. I totally forgot if I was supposed to sleep for a day or not. Take a rest here. Get first-person shooter game with references to Baldur's Gate 2 and call it Baldur's Gate 4. Oh, 1 day to get the angels. Oh, they come in automatic. We don't need to wait. Okay. So, what else do we have? Forgot the angels that we're summoning. We don't have to be in city for that. Your buddy's called you via discard and his drive back from Micro Center. Micro Center. It sounds like that should be a computer store. I don't know what Micro Center is. Into the past, stories of 60 everything. Okay, I'll do that. Fragment of an ancient powerful artifact, the Shield of Eredin. What powers lie within this object? Perhaps a story. Oh, storyteller. We should go talk to the storyteller about this shield that I keep forgetting to talk to him about. Old Fry's Electronics? Fry's Electronics is still in business here. It's a computer store, so he's upgrading that guy. Aren't they defunct? They could be, but I thought they were still in business here. But I haven't gone to a brick and mortar type store in ages anyway, so I could be wrong. Ye Old Fries, yes, Ye Old Fries. I thought they were still in business here. Yeah, CompUSA and Circuit City are definitely no longer with us. And Best Buy might be on the way out too. The way they're a little different, but I think Best Buy might be on the way out too. Because I think the one by us closed down not too recently. I don't know, have you brought any stories? Exclusive gamut items I'm carrying. Let me touch them and see what I can see. This wondrous magical boon was split into pieces, but his power did not vanish. It's still in there. I can sense it. It would speak to us of a battle, but which one? One moment. I will listen to the quiet voice of the past. They should have voiced all this stuff. A most remarkable story, he smiles at you. The light of Eredin shines so brightly that it is undimmed even after 100 years. The shard of his shield possesses no power in and of itself, but it can serve as a guiding star, leading us to other marvels. If you wish, I can awaken them for you. Shall we? What can you tell me about this object? Time carefully traces his fingers. Nothing. I cannot say a thing about it. Why? I was surprised and disappointed as you. An object that belonged to Eridan himself is a rarity indeed, even among the countless curiosities that have passed through my hands. I admit I have harbored hope that this shard could help shed some light on the great mystery of our time, the fate of the last Aslanti. But, alas, the object is silent. The secrets of its owner are beyond my reach. Try again. It would be pointless, I'm afraid. Certain events are swathed in a veil of mystery so thick that it renders my gift as blind as my eyes. I am the storyteller, and I can tell many stories, but it seems that on the fate of the last Aslanti, I must be silent. Thank you. Give him the shard. Awaken this relic for me. Eridan is dead. His shield shattered into pieces, but this shard points to a hidden possibility. It's like a guiding star. I see three paths. The first takes the form of a ring, the second a belt, and the third an amulet. Each item will be imbued with the memory of Eridan's deeds, but which calls to your heart? Belt? Ring? Amulet. This relic would be a monument to the fury that Eridan unleashed on all enemies of humanity. You will feel the true rage that burned within his breast when he entered the abyss to do battle with the demon lord. The Lord of the Red Tide was his name, a name now forgotten. But Eridan's feat is not forgotten, and it will be remembered forever. Tell me about the ring. This miraculous item will be the embodiment of 7 virtues of the Aslanti leader: wealth, fertility, honest pride, abundance, eager ambition, righteous anger, and peace. As the last Aslanti, Eridan wanted only the best for the human race. What about the belt? This relic will remind the world of the power and commitment of the immortal mage Eridan before his ascension, of the power that lay in those hands that raised the star stone from the bottom of the sea. Ready to make my choice. Not really, but amulet, I guess. I don't know. Okay, the light surrounds the shard, and the shrine immersing blah with the bright light fades. The only thing left is storyteller's hand and a small amulet. Okay, legacy of the last Aslanti. We have more important things to do. I have to go. So what did I just pick up? What kind of crap did I just pick up? Legacy of the last Aslanti. Shred of the Shield of Eridan, blah, blah, blah. The amulet grants its wearer the following abilities. Firstly, each of the wearer's attacks deals an extra 2d6 points of holy damage against all non-human creatures. Second, 7 times per day, whenever the wearer confirms a critical hit, the amulet unleashes the ire of the last Aslanti, dealing 20d6 points of holy damage to all non-human enemies within 30 feet. A successful will saving throw halves the damage. If the wearer is of the Lich mythic path, the damage type changes to unholy. Thirdly, the amulet holds the memory of the time when Eridan was still a mortal archmage, and this memory guides the wearer. All their spells with elemental descriptors, acid, cold, electricity, fire, deal 2 additional points of damage per dice roll to all their targets, and their save DCs increased by 2. Fourthly, whenever the wearer is hit by a melee attack for the first time in a round, the amulet prevents all physical damage from the attack. Finally, whenever the wearer rolls for initiative, they roll twice and take the better result. Man, back in the day, what was that, 10 years ago? 15 maybe? Back in the day. I don't think you're allowed to say back in the day if it's only been 15 years. Back in the day would be at least 25, I think. 15 just doesn't sound that long ago. Hell, that's not even the 90s. 20 years isn't even the 90s. 15 years is a long time. Not when you've been alive for over 50, it's not. It's not even half your life. So who should miss it? Confirms a critical hit. Let's keep you running. Life fail. Oh, bonus constitution ability to cast cure. Oh, I don't care about that. New power. Yeah, think about it. 15 years. If you're over 50 years old, well, I'm 53. So 15 years is 10 years, is more than 10 years less than I've been alive. Or sorry, it's more than 10 years than half of my life. There we go. So half of my life would be what, 26, 27, 26, 26 and a half. But I'm just freshly 53. So again, 15 years. 15 years ago was 13, so 2007, 2008, 2008, 2008, 2008. I was 38 years old. Did Rocket drag something in? I don't know, did he? It looks weird for a moment there. The pre-MWO years. Yeah, there we go. You're 43 and it seems long as hell. Of course it's 15 years is long as hell for you. It's almost half your life. Well, the third of your life. So again, this thing. Here's where it confirms a critical hit. The amulet does that. All their spells with elemental descriptors, so that's not going to really affect him. More holy damage, though, because he's not doing enough holy damage yet. Imagine being young in 2023. How young is young? I've got nieces and nephews who can fall into that category, so, or do fall in that category. Why would you want damage and holes? No, it's not holes, it's holy. Not holy, holy. I think we all agree that those kids need to get off their lawn, get off our lawns with their hippity hop music. Hippity hop music. Being young and 23 means you lost 3 years of your life to the void years. Unlike the rest of us. I hate that. I hate that shit that young people, I lost 3 years of my life because of COVID. So did the rest of us, so shut the fuck up. You people act like we're not alive. I hate that so much. It's like you act like we're not alive. It's like we didn't experience it at all. You know how many people I lost during COVID? Anyway, what was I doing? We need to go on an adventure or something. Although it's kind of too late. Spent too much time talking today. The sheer, because there's anger there. There really is. There is anger there. It's people thinking that their time is more precious than everybody else's. It's like, come on, give me a break. What are you over here? What's the shield for? Is that for the army? It is for the army. Why are we seeing the 8 but not the 10? Why is the 10 not showing up down here? Wasn't that there? Anyway, gotta go kill these guys real quick, maybe. Can't go that way. How am I supposed to get down there? Looks like there's a path going that way, but there isn't. Don't recall enough of Gimme a Break to make more than a passing reference. Gimme a Break. Gimme a Break is 70s show. Which one was that one? Gimme a Break. Was that the one with Rerun in it? Or is that the something else? No, not Rerun. Give me a break. That one was from the 70s. I said, Give Me a Break was from the 70s, right? Rerun was the rerun. I can't remember the name of that show either, but that was from the 70s. Give Me a Break. Which one was that one? It's not One Day at a Time. The 70s show was made recently. Set in the 70s. I mean, that 70s show? Not so recently made, but... Which was weird, because I lived it. Well, you lived the show, or you lived in the 70s? Technically, I was alive in the 70s. All of them, actually. Shockingly, I was alive for all the 70s. All in the Family. I remember All in the Family. Of course, now that I'm trying to remember it, what was All in the Family actually about? I know the title, but which one was All in the Family? Crap, which one was that one? You're 1 month older than me. Don't you feel old then? Have you been paying attention to Discord today? All the people making fun of my age? I don't know what I'm doing. Gimpy and Friends, where do you guys want to go? Oh, Archie Bunker, thank you. Archie Bunker and Edith. Also spun off. Jeffersons. Jeffersons was a spin-off from that show. Core of the Riddle, I don't care about. Legacy of the Ancients, that's another puzzle. Or was it? Yeah, it's another puzzle. Art of Mystery, another puzzle, don't care about. Valley of the Temples, which one's this one? Oh, gotta bring land down here. Yeah, we can get down there. Guess we have to get land story done. Okay, land. Manager. Who wants to take land spot? I guess technically that should be a Ruse spot. Because they're the same role. So take her out, add him in. And his stuff.
Hey, bag of water, it is time to take a break. Go stretch your legs. Your next break is in 1 hour.
We gotta take a look at his stuff here. So he's got the Silky Veil. Damage the rolls with unarmed attacks. Monk, only a monk can wear it. I don't think we have any more robes for him to wear. Because the actors were in their 40s on that show, but looked really old by today's standards. Ouch. Sanford and Son? Yeah, Sanford and Son was a good show. Red Fox. Probably one of the dirtiest comedians ever, but he was really good in that show. Oh, Red Fox was friggin' hilarious. I remember watching some of his recorded stuff as when I got older, and it was like, holy shit, he was funny. Oh, he was hilarious. Anyway, we'll worry about this stuff next week. So, I'll stop here. Humans can continue this. World vote. Sure. Why is Empire cooler than Kislev despite Kislev being further north? Why is Empire cooler than Kislev despite Kislev being further north? Oh, you totally changed pages on us, Fenny. That is Warhammer stuff. Why is the Empire cooler than Kislev? Kislev is surrounded in snow. Fancier hats, yes. They're cooler. Anyway, I do need to get up, stretch my legs, get some water, go talk to the dogs real quick to make sure that they understand that they are not alone. I'll be back in a few minutes, and when we get back, we'll be switching over to the Treasure of the Midnight Isles with Viewer Group 10. So, be back in a few minutes. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the dog video.